Welcome to Conversations Live, where we bring you the best in music, books, entertainment, and more. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Now celebrating 16 years of broadcasting, here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for our radio audience and those tuning in online. We're glad that you all could be with us as well. Well, as of right now, either you're joining us on the radio side of our program or those joining us around the country, places are definitely starting to open up to the relief of many after, of course, the COVID-19 has been really impacting so many businesses literally around this country. A lot of places are wondering, though, how they can make sure that they're providing a place that is not only safe for their customers, but also for their employees as well. For that, we're excited to welcome Adam Engelhard to our program today to talk to us not only about C19 Certified and the company and what they're doing to help businesses to make sure that they're ready for you guys, but also what they can do in helping to train employees as well to make sure that you guys have a safe environment to be able to go into. If you guys are just now hearing about C19 Certified, we'll let you guys know how to find out more information. But Adam, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate you dropping by.
Cyrus, I appreciate you having me.
Hey, glad to do it. So, of course, a very timely conversation for us, Adam, and I think really in two parts, right, because a lot of people have been cooped up in their homes. I know for our radio audience here in Mississippi, we're starting to open back up now. It's been a week now that places are starting to open. But literally around the country, both people are excited to be able to go out, but also want to make sure that they're having the safest experience possible. So let's begin there, Adam. Talk to us about the premise of what C19 Certified offered when it comes to training for employers.
Sure. So ultimately, what we are is an online digital compliance training course. Our core module goes over everything from hand washing and glove wearing all the way down to cleaning and disinfection techniques. Really what we are is a solution to help businesses open confidently right now. And so, we created the company with that mission, and it's something that we wanted to do to kind of put our hand out and help during the COVID crisis.
Yeah. Well, I think, just your being in existence, Adam, really shows that we have entered what is now the new normal, right, for us, not only, of course, for us who are experiencing different businesses, but also for the workforce. So I want to talk about for yourself. What made, as I mentioned, you are the co-founder of C19 Certified. What made you say that this was how you wanted to be able to do your part to make sure that places are educated, but also that they are able to provide a safe environment?
Sure. Well, I have a background as a film producer, and so when COVID happened and, most of the country's film production shut down, really all of the country's film production shut down, I wanted to figure out a way to help them kind of get back up and running, but ultimately get back up and running safe, because film productions have a lot of people on them. And so that means that, they're high-density areas. And so we created a program originally that had that in mind, but ultimately we just realized that so many other businesses could benefit from what we were offering. And so, a lot of companies that are large companies, you think like, firms like Apple or just the big ones, they're going to have human resource departments that are big enough to create, training compliance programs that help people, or help their staff learn more about the virus and ultimately not how to not spread it in the office. But these smaller companies, may not have it in the budget. So really, ultimately, we're just an affordable solution for them, and we're an exam that's ready to go now. And that's why we created the program.
Yeah. Well, I think that is one of the big things. One of the things I noticed when I was prepping for this segment, though, Adam, and we're going to be letting our audience know, of course, how to find out more information, but not only, of course, do you have yourself and Andy, the other co-founder, but also you have a board of advisors that include, someone from the medical profession. Why was that important for you all to make sure that when it came to what you all were offering, that you had someone to kind of cover the medical side of things?
Sure. That was probably the most important part. When we set out to do this, we knew we had a team with the medical professional. Ultimately, when we looked at what field that we wanted to go for, we figured that pulmonology was one of the most important, fields. This being a respiratory virus, we brought on Dr. Paul Scheinberg, who is a pulmonologist and also was a former chief medical officer for Emory St. Joseph's in Atlanta. And so, the combination of those two, we knew we had to have somebody who was competent enough to, one, verify that the material we were, educating people on was legitimate, and ultimately, he helps us keep our program updated and, looks over everything before we put it out when we do update it.
I think, too, the other side of this, and we all are learning, right, when it comes to what we need to do and what shouldn't be done and what has to change. Of course, we've been given these guidelines from the CDC to kind of help us out, and people hear that. But it seems like from what you're doing with C19 Certified, Adam, you all are really pushing the educational aspect. Is that what you want businesses to know, that not only, of course, to open, but to stay in business, the importance of staying informed and doing their part?
Yeah, education is, the most important thing in our eyes. I think the more that you understand something, the less scary it is. And ultimately, what we're doing is helping mitigate, the risk of spread within the office place or the workplace. And so if you know how the virus spreads, you're going to be less inclined to do actions that, perpetuate it. And so I think, ultimately an educated staff is a safe staff, and it just instills, confidence, not just for the employees, but ultimately for, potential customers that may come in contact with them.
Yeah. And I should say, even though here you're providing this information through the e-learning program, you also are helping to make sure that they're able to get the resources they need. Adam, why was it important for C19 Certified to be able to step in on that part, to be able to offer information? Yes, you all are doing the e-learning, but also let them know where they can find things like PPE that they might need.
Sure. I think that's just an avenue that naturally arose, when we set out to do this endeavor. When we do the PPE, we partner with companies, and so it's just a value add for us. And it seems that a lot of businesses that are reopening or are trying to figure out ways to operate safely in this environment need that equipment. And so we just wanted to be a full service solution for them.
Yeah. And it's a great avenue to be able to have for those who are just tuning in. He's on the radio side of online. You're listening to Conversations Live. We have Adam Engelhard for our segment today. He's a co-founder of C19 Certified. As you heard him say, it is a compliance training e-learning program for employees, but it also is able to provide something, I think, for everyone to be able to get information on, to be educated, and to make sure that they're doing their part, especially when it comes to what we're all dealing with now with the coronavirus, for sure. The other thing, of course, we discussed the workplace, a big part of that, and what may be a challenge, Adam, out there, especially for restaurants, right? I mean, I have not ventured out personally to any restaurants since things started opening up, but that is going to be one of the things. Social distancing is something we hear so much about. Talk to us about how C19 Certified is helping to address that issue when it comes to employees and employees.
Sure. So we've actually had a few restaurants use our course. We did Arena Tavern out in Atlanta, Georgia. We're doing Go Pizzeria up in Los Angeles on the Sunset Strip. We've done Shane's Rib Shack in Atlanta and a few other places. Ultimately what we do is we instill, we have a standard course. It's called the Prevent the Spread course. For businesses like restaurants, we add a module on the best practices for restaurants. And so that means things like, staying far enough away from, the customer's tables as a server to make sure that not only they feel comfortable, but you are mitigating the risk of any potential spreads. And so, we just want to instill that in the office place. And so that's why a lot of our questions in our exam are behavioralized. And so it really goes through real life situations to help employees understand, what they should do if they face a certain situation. So if it is, we go over social distancing and things like that, but ultimately, we try and put things in a way that people can comprehend and that people can use in their everyday life and experience.
Wow. So I want to talk about this from another aspect, from the business side for you, Adam, because, again, starting anything new can be scary, right? Of course, we all are kind of entering this, as I mentioned, this unknown. What was it like for you? Because you mentioned, of course, your own background in entertainment. What was it like for you to kind of begin something new yourself when it comes to this with the e-learning?
Yeah, ultimately, I've been an entrepreneur, for the past about 4 or 5 years. And so for me, starting a new business has always been an exciting thing. I don't think it's ever been something for me to, be scared or nervous of it. So when I had the concepts with my business partner, Andy Halpern, I think we just jumped right in and said, listen, this is an idea that we believe in, and, we just made it happen. And so I think that, it really goes for any entrepreneurs out there that if there's something that you want to do, there's really only one way to make it happen, and that's just by doing it. And so, if you can gamble and bet on yourself, I think ultimately you have the opportunity to win, most of the time if you're persistent enough.
I think that's such a good point. So what is your hope, Adam, as people are, taking these steps, opening up their businesses and doing their best, of course, to be educated, as we mentioned, but also to provide a safe environment? What is your hope that C19 Certified is able to do for businesses of all sizes as they're kind of wading through these new waters?
Yeah, I think our ultimate goal with businesses of all sizes is just, to instill confidence that education has been put forth in the workplace and that, people aren't operating blind. And so, like I said before, it's two-facing. It's one, it's for the employees to feel safe around their coworkers and know that they're taking the best practices into hand. And then it's on the second side, it's for the customer base to make sure that anybody interacting with the business knows that, their staff has been educated and ultimately that they can feel confident and comfortable around that.
To tie it in with the entertainment side, Adam, do you see maybe even studios being able to use C19 Certified to be able to help them as they are starting to look at, going back into production?
Absolutely. We've had, several conversations with different studios around Atlanta, as they seem to be one of the first ones to be opening up. And it's absolutely, a course that they would take, I think more so for their production offices. And then ultimately the unions are going to have guidelines around, what their members should do. But yeah, we're a great solution for, the production office and especially just, a proof for, insurers that you've done something on set to educate your staff and mitigate risk within the studio space and within the set.
Yeah. So before we let you go, Adam, I definitely want to talk on the business side, a couple more questions for you. So I want to talk about, for yourself, it has to feel good to know that you're able to provide this service through this e-learning program, but also word of mouth. Like, our radio audience is here in Mississippi. We have a radio station in Atlanta. We're on radio in Los Angeles, so our different audiences will be able to hear about the places that you're mentioning. Of course, word of mouth will tell about the different things that C19 Certified is doing. How has that plan played a role for you in being able to get the word out about the training and what you all are able to offer?
Sure. Well, that's certainly the hope. We definitely have had a handful of referrals, that have come through word of mouth. But, hopefully interacting with shows like yours and continuing to spread the word will help perpetuate that. And, as we continue to establish ourselves as a brand within the industry, our goal is that, people will continue to, make those referrals. But, we've had very satisfied customers and, our proof is in the pudding, right? We can offer demos to anybody who is interested in our product and really show them what our module and exam is about. And, ultimately everything that we're putting out is sourced by the CDC or the World Health Organization, as well as our team and our board of advisors, which includes our medical professionals as well. And so, I think that everybody who we've worked with so far as a customer has done a great job at, kind of spreading the word of how effective we were. And I think we'll continue to spread by word of mouth.
Yeah. Well, it definitely is timely, and I can see people literally around the country needing your services as they already are using Adam, as you've mentioned here, from coast to host. Again, everyone, Adam Engelhard has been our guest. He's the co-founder of C19 Certified, which is, as we talked about here, is an e-learning program for employees in the United States to kind of help them navigate the new normal post-COVID-19, and, of course, being able to make sure that they're doing everything they can to be able to not only be educated, but also to make their place of business enjoyable, not only, of course, for the employees, but also for those who visit. Adam, we mentioned it a few times. Let our audience know, though, the website they can go to for more information and to request that demo.
Perfect. So our website is the letter C, the number 19 certified. Can also reach us at info@c19-certified.com. So once again, our website is C, the number 19 certified.com. They can find all our info there, schedule a meeting to chat with us, and also schedule a demo to view our product.
Awesome. Adam, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate you dropping by, and looking forward to our next conversation together, man.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me, Cyrus. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day.
You do the same thing. I want to thank our good friend Zach Tepperman for setting up this chat with us for today. I want to thank all of you for tuning in, both for our radio audience and those tuning in online, to tuning into another edition of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying, as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Let's make it a great one. Take care.